Ferrari, yeah, I know, we were absolutely flying the end of the last race, but no, we meant to fit the soft tyre. Yeah, I know, yeah. No, it's called strategy. Yeah, you should try it sometime. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Kicking Haas. Now today we have the British Grand Prix, but before that I do need to say a big thank you and welcome to the first ever channel member, Neil Belton. I think that's how you pronounce it, that's how I would pronounce it. I feel like one of the unseen perks of either this or Patreon is that you get to know if I can actually pronounce your name or not. So, but Neil, seriously though, thank you so much, mate. First member, there's a join button down the thing below. It's 99p a month or whatever the equivalent is in your personal currency. And yeah. It's greatly appreciated, obviously. But we have a Formula 1 race to do today, and we've got a little bit to catch you up on as well. Now, if we go and have a look at facilities, we have got a brand new wind tunnel. So we've got a level 3 wind tunnel now. Let's hope that that is going to help us with development, not just of upgrades for this year's car, but also moving forward as well. So that is there. Of course, our CFD simulator and car part test center are not too far away. And actually, they are a long way away yet, but you know what I mean. Oh, they're 24 days. That's not too bad. It just looks like it's not very far along the thing there. 45 days for this, for the simulator. And maybe the suspension could be done soon. 10 million, we have 13 million in the bank. I just want to be a little bit careful in case, you know, we have a bad race for crashes, we need to emergency build some things. So yeah, that has happened. And the other thing that's happened, if we go and have a look at the car, is that we have a new chassis. So we did this, I designed this just in between the two what's it called, like the two development periods. So we've got a new one. I don't know how much it's going to make of a difference if we go and have a look at show rank on grid, and it makes a little bit of a difference for engine cooling, so that's better than nothing, isn't it? So we'll put that on both cars for this one, and hopefully we get some sort of benefit from it. It didn't really cost us anything in that we weren't losing out on developing the other parts of the car. You can see we've got a rear wing and a underfloor that are being developed now with the new development period. So hopefully we'll get those sooner rather than later. Now, if we go back and have a look at the drivers, everybody has a development point. So Logan Sargeant's development point, we'll put it into cornering. And he's now a 73 rated Logan Sargeant. Very well done. And let's go and have a look what we can do with K-Mag, who has a development point. We'll put that into control for him. Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe we look at getting reactions up level with that as well. We probably don't want anything involving pace to be one of these lowest attributes, do we really? So we might need to do that next time. And Jack Crawford, our new driver, has a development point. We'll stick that into reactions for him as well. And yeah, we'll try and get him built up. Of course, we have this season and next season before Jack Crawford will need to come in for K-Mag. So that is all of that done. Now, let's go and have a look at what we're doing here in terms of this race. Silverstone, we have a dry weekend. We can see the sectors there for qualifying. So where's the finish line? So red is sector 1, blue is sector 2, yellow is sector 3. Sections by speed. Has a little bit of everything, doesn't it, old Silverstone? It's a good track. And we can see there the parts of the car, the attributes that are needed here. Time considerations, 21-second pit stop. Of course, we've had a lot of luck with making later pit stops in the race. Now, it is a 2-stop, really. So I'm thinking medium, hard, soft for us might be the way to go. We can see the compound performance there. Now, last year, we had K-Mag in 10th, and Sargeant in 13th. So it wasn't a great track for us last year, you'd have to say. But hopefully, we'll do a little bit better than that this season. Now, if we have a look at our performance targets, let's go and have a look here. So we've got that. So we should be able to do, let's say Q3. We've been fairly consistent, particularly with K-Mag. Fastest lap, let's go for it. If we're doing the soft tyres at the end, we've been fairly competitive in terms of a fastest lap. We need a car in the top 14 to get that. And if we have a car qualifying the top 14 today, we will get another 800,000, which will probably put us just enough money then to confidently allow me to go and upgrade something else back at the factory. So that is everything there. Let's go off the Silverstone, and we can see their confirmation of the weather for the race. It's going to be a dry weekend, which you don't get all the time. Although recently, to be fair, not last year when I was there, of course, it was friggin' freezing and raining. But most of the time, recently, it's actually been a nice day at Silverstone. So anyway, I'm going to go do some qualifying, and I'll do some practice, and I will see you for qualifying. Okay, so free practice is done. Let's go and have a look how we did. Now, in free practice 1, we had Sargeant in 10th on a hard tyre, which was promising, and Crawford as well in 13th on a hard tyre, which again, very, very promising considering, well, obviously he's not a regular driver for us. FP2 was solid, I'd say. K-Mag just ahead of Sargeant, though, on the harder compounded tyre, both comfortably inside that top 10. Then we go to FP3, and was a little bit confusing. Sargeant was roughly where he should have been. K-Mag, I think what happened to K-Mag is that when he came out on to do his soft tyre run at the end of the session, I think he was in a bit of traffic and maybe wasn't able to get the lap in that he should have. So we know that realistically speaking, he's a little bit faster than Sargeant. So we'd probably be looking at maybe 6th if he had got maybe a clean lap, maybe even ahead of Sainz and the Ferraris. So and Hamilton, I should say, not both the Ferraris. So yeah, a little bit, I don't want to say concerned for K-Mag, but certainly confused as to why he is where he is. Now, 96% confidence on both cars, just weren't quite able to get nailed that setup perfectly for us. But anyway, that's still pretty good. Q1 should be absolutely fine, so I'll do that and see how we get on. Alright, so indeed, Q1 was absolutely fine. K-Mag 9th with 1 run. We did do a second run with Logan Sargeant just to be super on the safe side. In the end, he squeezed through, but there was quite a few cars between him and them, and note that they all went faster on the second run. It was always relatively safe, I think. They may be a little bit too close for comfort, perhaps. So let's have a look now for Q2 and see how they get on. Sargeant could be under pressure here. Alright, so we are coming around with Logan Sargeant to start our lap. Now, he got horribly blocked. It's not going to happen again, is it? On his first lap, pretty much by everybody. So he's, like, way off. Not even a representative lap time. Now, Ocon has just done his lap, so that is a benchmark that is not going to move. So let's go times 2. You can see Magnussen relatively comfortably inside the top 10 as he has been, well, most of the time, to be honest. I don't know, as I say, exactly what happened in FP3 there, but both drivers have done a green first sector, which is obviously good. K-Mag is the last car on track. Sargeant is just in front of him. You can see us on the track map up there. And we should be getting a second sector time here momentarily, and it is green for Sargeant, green for K-Mag as well. You'd expect Sargeant to be green, let's be honest. Let's see if he is green enough, though, to get himself inside this top 10. Can he do it? Sargeant, no, he goes 12th. K-Mag, he is 7th. So confirmation of the Logan Sargeant elimination. Now, I don't think it's quite as bad as it looks. He's a 10th of a second off of Alonso, and he's not that far off the pace of those in front either. He's only, what, 0.2, quarter of a second slower than Magnussen. So he's in the ballpark, which is good. He should be in the race for points, but let's see where K-Mag can put himself on the grid. Okay, so we have a yellow flag, which might be about to hold up K-Mag here. He did a lap on used tyres. No, he should be good, because Bottas is up here somewhere, the 2 Alphas. He did a lap on used tyres. Now, this means K-Mag has 2 brand spanking new set of fresh soft tyres for the race. So my plan for K-Mag here is soft, medium, soft, hopefully. Or even soft, hard, soft to get him, if we need to do that to get him to the end. He's done a green first sector, though. He, I think, is more perhaps looking to defend from those behind than maybe look to move forward here, but 6 would be a very good starting place for us if we can get it. Maybe could we dream of pipping Sainz or potentially Bottas, given that we're ahead of Gasly. But like I say, very, very close margins. If we can stay 6th, that's absolutely fine, unless Russell pops in a good lap here. He is the car in front of us. We are, so what's case scenario 6? K-Mag's not done a good middle sector, and we do stay 6th. But we can fight from there, can't we? Not a bad starting place at all. So 6th for K-Mag. It is 12th for Sargeant. Let's talk strategy now. And let's see if my plan here, there's a soft tyre can go quite a way, can't it? So I don't see a sense in using a hard tyre if we don't need to use a hard tyre. So we can quite comfortably spend most of the race on the soft. Really, I wonder if we push hard on the start there. I mean, really, yeah. I mean, it's almost a one-stop, isn't it? Now, the problem is that, see, medium hard just about gets you there. So what if we try this with Sargeant, try the one-stop, and then we can always change it and come in for a soft tyre at the end if that's if that's looking like it might be better. So I think I like that idea for Sargeant. Then K-Mag, we definitely do the soft, medium, soft strategy. I mean, this is gonna be the faster strategy, isn't it? Let's be honest. So maybe we just, yeah, let's do it, because this is the thing. I don't want to have a race with Sargeant where we don't use the soft tire. That just seems now what we don't have though with him is 2 fresh sets of softs. But you know what? We'll go with it anyway, because we can make it a shorter first stint, even maybe look for an undercut. And yeah, we'll go with it's silly not to use a soft tire, isn't it? It's clearly the faster tire. Oh no, Sargeant does have 2 sets of softs. Of course, he didn't make Q3, did he? Yeah, so he's got 2 sets of softs. K-Mag's got 2 sets of softs. So yeah, that's all looking very, very nice indeed. Let's get this race underway. All right, welcome back. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, by the way, if you were celebrating. But yeah, let's get this underway and see what we can do. You can see both drivers are going to be pushing on in terms of tyre wear. We are deploying as usual for the first couple of laps to just try and get as many positions as we can. K-Mag has actually lost a position here, which isn't great, though he should have the inside line here on Gasly. And he's got a tyre advantage here as well. What sort of tyres is everybody using? So we're the only one on the soft tyres. Now, we know that the AI tends to just use those 3 default strategies, but this is the time for us to make our ground, isn't it? We've got a tyre advantage, which we're not going to have later on necessarily. And, well, this is a good first lap battle here. Can we stick the nose down the inside? That should be our 6th spot now. It's a long radius corner on the gas. We should have a grip advantage. And if we can get in front of Bottas here as quickly as possible and try and go with those front 3, that would be very, very nice. But, well, we'll kind of see how we go here. Sargeant is held position, I should say, in 12th so far. And is K-Mag not deploying? What's going on here? Why is there such a discrepancy between those two, I wonder? He's deploying now. Here we go. Can he stick one up the inside? He's done the fastest lap, but of course that's not going to mean anything yet. And while we are staying with, well, maybe not the Red Bulls, but certainly Leclerc. Here's a chance now. Can we get one done up the inside? A little bit too far back, I think, aren't we? Round the outside. Go on, K-Mag. Go on, K-Mag. On that gas. And that is a position gained to 5th. Now, can we get Bottas as well here? End of the Hangar Straight's going to be the place, isn't it? Well, we saw that live. We've still got Sargeant there in 12th. Now, can we get something done here on Bottas in the Alfa Romeo? It is important that we are finishing ahead of the Alphas and the Mercedes particularly, because they are behind us right now. Obviously, ideally, we'd like to get there. We're going to get Bottas here down the outside, are we? DRS is now empty, so we'll go back to neutral. But can we get the most done out of this and get that move on Bottas? We have gone around the outside. So P4 now for Magnussen. Sargeant is 11th and DRS is operational. All right, and we have got K-Mag past the Ferrari now of Charles Leclerc. Maybe a bit of DRS help there, but up to P3 for Kevin Magnussen as he will make it stick there into club, I'm assuming. There we go. Have some curb, Charles. Well, well, well. We've got the 2 Red Bulls battling here. We're going to see Perez send it off into the grass, and that will move K-Mag up into 2nd place now. Although there is, of course, a chance that Gasly's locked up as well. There is a chance that that position was about to go under DRS here. And there it is indeed. Can we stick the nose back in? Oh, it's been a really, really good battle between Leclerc and Magnussen. It's more or less just down the Hangar Straight on DRS. They're sort of going back and forth. But really impressively as well, Sargeant hanging in there on up there in 9th, ahead of one of the Mercedes and George Russell, which is important. And there's you can see there a bit of a train, the Hamilton train, that we see so often, don't we? The Mercedes just don't have the race pace. As Leclerc gets back past K-Mag. But, so yeah, we're using the tyres to fairly good effect right now. You would imagine, as George Russell, multiple cars have crashed. What's going on here? Is it a safety car? And if so, it's pit time for us. So let's see what's happened here. It's a little bit further back with the Aston Martin and the Williams, and, well, that's all a little bit anticlimactic, really, isn't it? Okay, we are entering the pit window now for both cars. K-Mag, though, is just dropping back a little bit here. That being the case, actually, if we're in the pit window, let's push these tyres on again now and see. But K-Mag down to 4th. Sargeant's still hanging in there in 9th. He's doing absolutely fine just in this Hamilton train. And, I mean, as long as he finishes ahead of Hamilton, although the Alpines are both up there as well. But in terms of the constructors, as long as he finishes ahead of Hamilton, or certainly if not ahead of him, right behind him, then we can limit the damage we've done there, because we've got K-Mag in front of everybody just now. But what we don't want or need is to have Alfa Romeos in there ruining our fun. So this is going to be our optimum lap for a pit stop. Now, we know we're going to be stopping earlier because we're on the soft tyre, whereas everybody else... No, it's not. We've got one more lap before our optimum lap. Alright, so K-Mag is coming in. Now, he'll momentarily overtake cars as they go around club, which we don't have to do. Perfect lap for Sargeant, so we'll call him in as well, onto a medium tyre. Go on, Logan. He has just lost out to Perez. That is just Perez coming back through the field after his spin, of course, which is... The Red Bulls are absolutely rapid, by the way. I don't know. They've obviously brought something to their car because they are flying. Almost sub 3 seconds. Look at that. We are getting better, slowly but surely. See, K-Mag will come out. Can he keep 15th ahead of Guan Yu Zhou? It looks like he is going to. And he can have a big push lap here. We'll try and... yeah, try and get, you know, as much as we can on these cars before they come in to get rid of their mediums. And, of course, what we aren't completely sure of is if they are going to one-stop, if they're going medium-hard. Although, the thing is that we're not going to know, because if they are going to two-stop, it'll be medium-hard soft. So, we're going to be a little bit in the dark as to exactly if we're racing against guys that have to stop once more, or if they're done. But we'll obviously deal with that as we go. What happened there? Has Sargeant got a problem? Why did he just slow up? He did a massive lift to let Gasly pass. Why did you do that, Logan? I don't quite understand what happened there. But anyway, Sargeant is in. We'll see if we can, can we go sub 3 seconds this lap? Or this pit stop, I should say. Off, on. Oh, they've done it. Sub 3 seconds. Well done, Haas boys. All right. Let's get this undercut done. Okay, so we have pit stops starting for the cars that were sort of up in the points with us. We are just going to be a little bit more cautious on the tyres, but K-Mag has done the fastest lap, although Verstappen took it back from him. And let's see, so he's still roughly where he was. Now, can Sargeant... Oh, he's stuck behind... Sargeant has got past Gasly. We're stuck behind Norris here, and we didn't get Alonso, which is disappointing. We're going to drive past Norris now. You can see last lap times there. But we'll stay with this. We've got about 2 seconds, it looks like, and they have come out on a hard tyre. So, yeah, we're not going to know if they need to stop again or not, and basically until they stop again. We might get an idea by how worn their tyres are, if they're saving tyres a little bit more or not. But, yeah, so it's going to be a slightly tricky race on that front. But we've just got to run our own race, though. We've committed to a 2-stop. It's worked for us in the past. And if they are one-stopping, then we know that we're going to be seconds a lap faster than them towards the end of this one. So, yeah, there's Alonso in front who we're catching quite quickly. And again, we have a tyre advantage here, let's not forget. We're on a medium. Everybody else, they're on a hard. So the Haasers are flying. Sargeant, fastest lap, and has just overtaken Alonso. Drove straight past him like he wasn't even there. It's going so fast, they can't even keep up with the graphics. It was blurring, he was going so fast. Well done, Logan. Excellent work. And, yeah, well, we've got some more pit stops coming in now. Sainz is coming in. If you look at last lap times when we're in free air, now we are sort of having to come through a bit of traffic. But we're in free air. We're definitely the fastest cars, with the exception of Verstappen. We're the fastest cars on track. Now, K-Mag has got past Sargeant. Got past Sainz, I should say. Sargeant is the one. It looks like Sargeant has just failed. That's Sainz in front there. Now, he is on a hard tyre. Can we get any sense? I get the feeling if they're coming in now onto a hard tyre, they're probably one stopping, aren't they? Then he might find himself in a really good place. Now, Leclerc coming in. This is a big stop in terms of Magnussen. We'll see there on the track map. There's Magnussen. Leclerc just coming in. He'll stop earlier on. He'll leave, and let's see. Now, it's Albon in the pits in front of us here, which isn't ideal. Is Magnussen. He's not going to quite get him, is he? There's the Ferrari there. Can we get a move done? Not quite. But we will have DRS, and hopefully we'll manage to get him nice and quickly here. Put ourselves into P2. No such luck on getting him nice and quickly, but let's hope we can get him at some point. And Perez is... Well, Perez is struggling, isn't he? Has he must have stopped because he was ahead of Sainz. Jesus Christ. He was ahead of Sargeant. Now, Sargeant is currently in a little bit of a battle here with Alonso. And he should get that done relatively easily with DRS. Head down, Logan. You need to get these two in front. That's your battle. Oh, and Alonso, we saw it on board, has just outbroke himself and stuck it in the sand. Excellent work. You're too quick for him, Logan. All right, they're giving us positions today. Here we go, just in front of us, and Bottas around club spins, and there goes Sargeant up into 5th. I think that is for him now. And we come back to see who's this? Magnussen side by side with Leclerc. Now, as I say, I don't think Leclerc is going to have to stop again. So we need to be a little bit further ahead of him here, ideally. But we know we've got a soft tyre to go onto at the end. If we look at lap times, we don't know what we could do we? Because it's going to be faster than the first stint when we were on softs. But we should be quite a bit quicker towards the end. So if we could get a little bit of a gap on them here, that would be nice. Yeah, Verstappen is probably, and Alonso. Now, they came in earlier, didn't they? And potentially Vettel. But they could all be going to the end here. We just don't know. That's the intrigue here, isn't it? Okay, so we are entering into the pit windows here. And Sargeant has got a little bit of a Logan train going. Now, he has just been passed by Hamilton. Yeah, it's obviously not ideal that he is so much slower than those around him right now on a medium tyre that is not in the worst condition either. So I'm wondering if he's supposed to come in next lap, though I'm wondering if he's just dropping so many positions here, if it might actually be worth bringing him in this lap. What's the gap? He should, yeah, there's a 7 second gap there, so he should have enough time to come in this lap as well. Get on the soft tyres and go to the end. That shouldn't be a problem. So here we go. Let's see how this strategy plays out for us. Is anybody else going to stop? That's the big question, isn't it? We're expecting K-Mag to come back out into 12th place. Now, Alonso, it looks like, has a penalty. So ideally, we will be ahead of him. But obviously, time will tell. Here's Sargeant in the pits as well, as we know. And like I say, hopefully, we're not going to run into any sort of slow issues here. It's just over 3 seconds for K-Mag. Plenty of time before Sargeant comes in. And he is just a smidge over 3 seconds as well. So, well, we're about to find out if this strategy is going to work as Sargeant drops to 14th with Vettel in front of him. Magnussen is, well, he is behind both the Alpines and he needs to get this move done quickly. Let's stick him on overtake and see if he can get past both these Alpines and get himself back into the points. And, well, yeah, we'll see if we can chase down a podium here. Everybody on hard tyres, we're on soft. This is going to be, well, we've got to get this move done, please, and thank you. Past Ocon, nicely done. Now, can we go and get Alonso down this straight as well? Not quite. Ricciardo in front of these two. Then we've got the Alfa Romeos about 6 seconds up the road. But these Alpines are proving to be quite annoying and potentially race-destroying. Come on, K-Mag. You've got to get this done, mate. You've just got to get this done. Oh, 3 wide there would be a little bit, wouldn't it? Come on. Do we need to use a little bit of tyre here to get past it? This has to happen. Can we get a double Alpine? Can we get a double Alpine? It's up the inside. Oh, K-Mag has got a double Alpine. Alonso was coming into the pits, as is Gasly, so that helps us a little bit. So Magnussen will go up to P8, and Sargeant, he will be P11, I think. Yes. Alright, so a quick update here. We have both cars currently in the points. Verstappen has made his second stop. He has nicked our fastest lap. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that back from him. The Red Bull is just rapid, and he's on a medium tyre, so that might... Oh, I went the wrong way there. So that might... But it's not going to happen. He's just too quick for us in terms of a fastest lap. But 2 cars in the points is not too bad. We've just got to see. It's maybe a little bit frustrating that we were battling with Leclerc. Are we going to have enough in 12 laps to get ourselves back on the podium here, which is basically what we had more or less guaranteed. But yeah, that's questionable. We're, what, a second or so a lap, a little bit more or less. Yeah, about a second a lap faster than those in front of us, with the exception of Hamilton. So, well, we'll sit back and enjoy the ride, won't we? Alright, so we have K-Mag has caught the back of Bottas, maybe a little bit thanks to him running wide, but that's probably the pressure we're putting on him as well. This isn't working as well as it has in previous races. I don't know that we're going to get much further forward than perhaps Bottas here, so strategy error perhaps on my part. We're going to have another 4 seconds to make up on Hamilton and Sainz in front of us here, and before we caught the back, we were about a second a lap. There we might. Depending how quickly we get past Bottas here, we might be able to do something. Sargeant is, well, he's a lot faster than Ocon, and that in front of him, Ocon and Russell. So he's in the conversation there. We're going to have a quick look at him. We can see that the Alpine and the Mercedes are in front of him. So let's hope Sargeant can move himself up to 8th, and well, we'll see if Magnussen can do anything beyond Bottas. But I mean, even Bottas here on the hard tyre is proving to be a little bit difficult to overtake. So, didn't quite pay off this time on the strategy, but still, if we can get 6, that's not terrible points, is it? So, K-Mag has pulled off the move on Bottas, just using the extra grip the soft tyre has down the inside of Luffields, that is, isn't it? And then just had the better grip, more acceleration, better speed down the straight. Alright, so we have Logan Sargeant with, what's that, 3 or 4 laps to go. And he is right up the back of Ocon, and in front of him, Russell. So let's see if he can get some overtaking done here. It's not going to be helped by the fact that Ocon also has DRS in front of him, though he does have a little bit of ERS to use here to play with. So we might even look to set him to overtake. Do we try the hanger straight, perhaps? We want to try and get this done if we can. He's got a decent run out of there. Is he going to have enough? No. So we might need to wait to the hanger straight and the Wellington straight. And the issue now, of course, is going to be, is he going to have enough ERS to get that done? Really not being helped by the fact that Ocon in front has DRS off the back of... here we go. Come on, Logan. Come on, Logan. Round the outside, mate. Round the outside. Stick your nose in. It's almost identical to what we saw K-Mag do to Bottas. And go and get Russell now, mate. Go and get Russell. And unfortunately, Ocon has just got back past us. So I'd say it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked for Magnussen. I'd say it has worked. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. What's happened here? Sector 2. It's Guanyu, so no one that affects us too much. Yeah, it hasn't worked for Magnussen. It has worked for Sargeant, though. he's up inside the top 10. Gasly, he hasn't scored points yet. Gasly is right behind him. Yeah, last lap now for Verstappen. We'll probably go aggressive there. I'm a little bit more concerned about Logan's tyre life. The main thing here for K-Mag is just to protect what he has, because we can see there Bottas is still right behind him. And Sargeant, well, he's got a car in front and a car behind. What can he do? Last lap, let's go aggressive, mate. Go and see if you can get at least one of these guys. Of course, Sargeant hasn't scored points in a little while, has he? So it would be nice if he could get something. We've still got one behind here. There we go. Round the outside. That's move done there. And can he now, as Verstappen wins a race that he absolutely dominated? On the two-stop strategy, mind you. So it wasn't a completely duff strategy, but it wasn't particularly... It just didn't work for K-Mag, did it? Unfortunately, it looks as though he has managed to stay ahead of Bottas down the back straight. So K-Mag will come in 6th. And now it's just a matter of what can Logan Sargeant do. I don't think he's going to... He's not going to get him. But P6 for K-Mag, and it's looking like it will be P9 and 2 points for Logan Sargeant, which is absolutely fine, though it should have been more, I think, potentially, for K-Mag. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I do think we've maybe let a podium go there for Magnussen. He was right with Leclerc, and you just wonder if he would have done enough to stay basically third. I don't know if we would have beaten Leclerc if we were on sort of the same tyre strategy, but with the mistake from Perez putting him a little ways back, I think maybe we could have held on for third. Sargeant up 3 to 9th. I think that's absolutely fine for him. So yeah, there we go. If we have a look at the drivers' standings, we still have Magnussen there in 4th, and we have Logan Sargeant there in 10th again. A relatively safe 10th as well. And the constructors, well, we are 3rd. Mercedes pull back 4 points. Ferrari, I think, are galloping off into the distance with their prancing horses, aren't they? So I think we're in a battle for 3rd. Still a long way to go, of course, but I'm looking potentially battle for 3rd, and if we can get the better of Mercedes in Season 2, then that's not going to be bad for us at all, is it? But if you've enjoyed that, guys, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. I believe the next race, as Sargeant gets a development point, is Austria, and another one for Mr. Crawford as well. So I will see you in Austria, and hopefully I won't throw away a podium this time. Take care.